Living systems. This is the perspective that sees every system as a whole. No part exists in isolation, from a colony to a forest, from a country to a classroom. Three topics were very meaningful for me. The first one, interdependence. This principle talks about how everything connects to another, and of course, this interaction changes other things. Something like the butterfly effect. The second one is systems integrity. This principle lets us know how every part of a system plays a role in the ability to function. One reflection from this part that allowed me to understand it was the view of a mechanical system. If you remove something, it won't work, or at least not properly. The third one was biodiversity. This principle has a very important phrase. Diversity provides health and resilience. That means that the more biodiversity, the healthier, the more resilient, and the more flexible the ecosystem. How am I going to apply this? I think that by doing three things: giving importance to every student as they provide the class with diversity. Then, appreciating more their presence and their roles as human beings. And finally, having in mind that we are a group and we coexist together. Creativity and play. These two elements provide a lot of great advantages to the classroom. I would like to focus on play. There are 6 basic elements of play that are present every time you and your students play. Number 1, anticipation. This increases the expectation and prediction. Remember the phrase, to infinity and beyond. Number 2, surprise. According to Robert and Michelle Ruth Bernstein, physiologist and historian, playfully challenging the limitations of a science, an art, or a technology just to see what happens is one of the most common ways in which novel ideas are born. Number 3, pleasure, a feeling of happy satisfaction. This reminds us the phrase of Oliver Wendell, the physician. Men do not quit playing because they grow old. They grow old because they quit playing. Number 4, understanding, the ability to understand something. Number 5, poise, a state of balance and stability. Of course, play provides different skills and stimulates imagination and confidence. And finally, strength. This contradicts the common idea that playing is easy or just for fun. Playing is hard too. Compassionate communication or non-violent communication. This is a process developed by Marshall Rosenberg, and it is also known as the giraffe language, because in relation to their body, giraffes have the biggest heart. It requires a big understanding of feelings and needs. The process is the following. Express an observation without being judgmental. Then, express the feeling in relation to the observation. It is important here not to blame others. Then, a very specific need. And finally, a request that would enrich oneself without demanding. The Akashic Age. Akasha comes from the ancient Indian term Akasha, the fifth element that joins the other four. The Akashic Age means a time of transition between the world as we know it and a more sustainable future. It represents a new stage in our consciousness to overcome every challenge that comes. It has some principles. Number 1 is I am part of the world. The world is in me, and I am in the world. Number 2, I am part of nature, and nature is part of me. Number three, I am self-sustaining, self-evolving, dynamic system arising, persistent, and evolving in interaction with everything around me. Number four, there are no absolute boundaries and divisions in the world. Number five, collaboration, non-competition, is the road to the wholeness that marks healthy systems in the world. Number six, comprehension, conciliation, and forgiveness are not signs of weakness, they are signs of courage. Number seven, every healthy person takes pleasure in giving. Sharing enhances the community of life. Communities of practice. Communities of practice are social learning systems. They exhibit many characteristics of systems, for example, dynamic boundaries, regulation, complex relationships, an emergent structure, self organization, diversity, and culture, among others. To be considered a community, a community of practice needs to have number one, a community of experts, number two, a domain of a field, and number three, a shared practice to work on something. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is a practice that helps us to be present, open, and paying attention to the moment. This practice in the classroom enables our students to be aware of their thoughts, feelings, and the surrounding environment. Having a mindful classroom enhances the ability to pay attention, lowers stress levels, helps to become self regulated, primes students to experience more transformative learning, and of course, in general, improves the academic performance.